Calling the House Un-American Activities Committee to order, Chairman J. Parnell Thomas of New Jersey opens an inquiry into possible communist penetration of the Hollywood film industry. The committee is seeking to determine if Red Party members have reached the screen with subversive propaganda.
Ever observed any communistic information in any script?
Well, I've turned down quite a few scripts because I thought they were tinged with communistic ideas. There has been a small group within the Screen Actors Guild which has consistently opposed the policy of the Guild board and officers or the Guild itself, as evidenced by the vote, and very efficient.
If I had my way about it, they'd all be sent back to Russia or some other unpleasant place.
That's enough, Miss Parker. The Hollywood 10 defied the House Un-American Committee. Many went to prison.
Are you a member of the Communist Party? Or have you ever been?
Along with the Hollywood 10, many prominent Hollywood writers, including Dorothy Parker and Lillian Hellman, were blacklisted. Some of the biggest names in Hollywood came to the defense of the blacklisted writers without success.
Mrs. Parker, are you now or have you ever been a member of the Communist Party?
The Cold War blacklist campaign ended Dorothy Parker's screenwriting career. Dorothy Parker was the most well-known female humorist of the 20th century. She was one of the founding members of the Algonquin Round Table and Screenwriters Guild. Yet her legacy as a writer, humorist, and social advocate was cut short by the Hollywood Blacklist. She was rejected by her secret love, Ernest Hemingway, betrayed by her best friend, Lillian Hellman, distanced by F. Scott Fitzgerald, abandoned by Alan Campbell, and through it all, loved by millions. This is Dorothy Parker's story, told through music and her own eyes. Tonight, you are invited to join Dorothy Parker on her discovery of the meaning of life in a room big enough for two.
In my room enough for two, we had a heaven that was made for me and you. Now alone I face the emptiness of knowing we are through, and I can't help wondering if you're thinking how I was a fool to believe in after I made room enough for two. In my room enough for two, I dedicate my every thought to loving you. While I'm making love to yesterday, you're loving someone new. And I take you back tomorrow, borrow, beg, or steal, it's true. That's what fools will do with an empty room enough for two. Why, tell me why am I all alone in my room enough for two? I cherish memories. Tonight's a night a star is born. Tonight's a night we kick the can. Tonight's a night I blow my horn. Tonight's a night I get my man. Tonight's a night for make-believe, as long as it's for real. Tonight you'll see what's up my sleeve, and I'll take every ace I can steal. Tonight's a night we break the bank. Tonight's a night I shoot to kill. Tonight's a night I walk the plank. Tonight's a night you pay the bill. Tonight's a night I wrap you up. Tonight I take you home. But then again, on second thought, I'd rather be alone. Listen, can you hear it? Someone's calling me to go. But how can I go someplace where I don't know from Borscht? Tonight's the night we go for broke. Tonight's the night I might get paid. Tonight's the night I spend the geld. Tonight's the night I might get who needs it? Tonight's the night I make a wish. Tonight I just might fly. For tonight's the night we break the bank, we kick the can. I shoot to kill, I get my man. I swear I wouldn't lie. I will let go, I won't look back. I'll finally say goodbye. At least I think tonight's the night. Tonight's the night. Good evening. My name is Dorothy Parker. Some say I am the preeminent female humorist of the 20th century. This is true. Others say I was the wittiest woman in New York. Also true. I'm still the wittiest woman in New York, and I haven't been on the scene in years. I'm a very accomplished and award-winning poet, playwright, screenwriter, composer, and reviewer. My poetry and quips are quoted around the world. Men seldom make passes at girls who wear glasses. Mine. One more drink and I'll be under the host. Also mine. Not to mention my reviews. The House Beautiful. The House Beautiful was a play lousy. The Barretts of Wimpole Street. Now that you've got me right down to it, the only thing I didn't like about the Barretts of Wimpole Street was the play. Give Me Yesterday. Its hero is caused by a novel device to fall asleep and a dream. Thus he is given yesterday. Me, I should have given him 20 years to life. At one time, everyone in America knew who Dorothy Parker was. But not in the end. I hate happy endings just as much as everyone else does, but my own ending read like a Greek tragedy. I died alone, penniless, insecure. I do believe some of you don't even know who I am. And I blame Lillian Hellman, my best friend, a direct descendant of Benedict Arnold. I should never have made her executrix of my estate. When the will was read, she hit the roof. She put a kibosh to all of the things that were planned in my honor. Tributes. She even found the autobiography I was working on here in my room at the Hotel Volney in New York City. And she destroyed it. Why? Why, Lily? Why did you turn on me? You were my best friend. Why did Ernest Hemingway turn on me? Or Charles MacArthur? They all did. They all deserted me in the end. What did I do wrong? Well, I don't blame them, actually. Lillian once said that I was a tangled fishnet of contradictions. Some thought of me treacherous and not to be trusted. Those were my friends. Others were afraid of me. Those were my close friends. You see, I took enormous delight in being kind to someone's face, waiting until they left the room, and then ripping them to shreds. Well, perhaps I should have done things differently. Perhaps I could have done things differently, but what could I have done? I was getting very close to it with my autobiography, which is what tonight is all about. Tonight's the night I will finish my autobiography, take my rightful place in history, and move on to the other side in peace. Let's start at the beginning of my writing career, shall we? And work our way through the events leading up to the tragedy, which also happens to be the title of my autobiography. I arrived in New York in 1913 at the by then jaded age of 20. My father, a man of means,
died and frittered away my inheritance before doing so. I didn't have a clue as to how one goes about earning a living. Then I received $12 for a verse I'd written from Vogue magazine. I discovered the two most beautiful words in the English language. Check enclosed. Mwah! For the next 50 years, I was paid handsomely to write. Books, reviews, plays, screenplays, articles. During the Depression, I was making $5,200 per week writing screenplays in Hollywood. Oh, God, I was rich. You're probably wondering what happened to all my money. What's it to you? All right, I will tell you. The money was like so much compressed snow. It goes so fast, it melts in your hands. I blew it all.
I don't know much about being a millionaire, but I bet I'd be darling at it. I gave money to the masses, I was moved by underclasses. Oy vey, I blew it all. Frittered fortunes on my friends and foe. Not happy? Well, I'll make it so. Oy vey, I blew it all. At the expense of being flip, I frittered fortunes. I ran through so much dough it could have been a crime. Posed it up and bet the bankroll, dribbled down to my last dime. I went shopping without stopping, there was never enough time. Here, 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 take it. I was close to bankruptcy. Men seldom make passes at down and out lasses. No limousine, no fancy clothes, ah, just my luck, I got a rose. I shared, gave, lent, spent, threw, withdrew, offered, frittered, tossed, pissed, purchased, charged, dribbled, drove, discarded, exchanged. I was deranged. What was I thinking? Where was my head? Forget about that rainy day. I'd nothing left to salt away. Oy vey, I blew it all and had a ball.
Opening night on Broadway,
heart-stopping expectations,
falling in love tonight with Broadway. Opening night on Broadway,
toasting a great performance.
Stars will be born in the reviews. Every star that shines tonight owes its glow to the Broadway night. Opening night on Broadway,
heart-stopping expectations,
holding our breath,
scared to death, waiting for the new reviews on Broadway.
What time is it?
3 minutes later than the last time you asked me.
Look, the paperboy's coming.
Have you heard the news? Your play is really great.
All right.
They anticipate the run will last for many seasons.
Yes.
They say a Tony will be your first award.
I knew it. Nobody was born.
Dorothy Parker says it's theater at its best.
Right.
Walter Winchell says he laughed so hard his sides were splitting. We got a winner.
Raise the prices.
There'll be standing room only. We'll toast with champagne. last for many seasons. They say a Tony will be your first award. Nobody was born. Dorothy Parker says it's still a best life. Walter Winchell says he laughed so hard his sides were splitting. We've got a winner. Raise the prize, there'll be standing room full. We'll toast with champagne to happy ever after. Here's to the Pulitzer Prize. Cheers! Here we go! Oh, happy credit, your play is really great. Hard stuff and desperation. Oh, I know. And I believe, yes we believe, shooting stars will light the skies tonight on Broadway.
The first thing I do in the morning is brush my teeth and sharpen my tongue.
You don't want to hear about the Algonquin Round Table, now do you? But I'm so tired of talking about it. All it was a group of people sitting around saying, "Did you hear the funny thing I said yesterday?" Although it did have its moments. All right, then, I will tell you.
The year was 1920. I was working as an editor at Vanity Fair magazine with Robert Benchley and Robert Sherwood. We pulled many hijinks, such as wearing signs around our necks displaying our weekday salaries. Our boss didn't like that much. Great minds always think alike, though we may tend to disagree. And if there's ever any question, they'll look to me. Benchley, Sherwood and I took lunch each day at the Algonquin Hotel. We'd laugh and gossip and argue.
What took you so long, Dorothy?
I was detained in the bathroom. Well, I was actually making a telephone call, only I'm too embarrassed to tell you.
You're always late, Dottie, darling.
That's not entirely true. I was 2 months premature when I arrived into this world.
That was the last time you were early for anything.
In time, anybody who is anybody vied for a chair at the round table. And of course, the new people we invited felt as if they had died and gone to hell.
You're at the table, waiting for your chance to speak.
You hear a lull. You jump right in there.
The words you say may go down in history.
Don't blow it, or you won't ask it back again. Ring, please, don't fail me.
Dessert is here. I'm filled with fear.
I'm only one foot down.
Let's play that word game.
All right, choose a word.
Horticulture.
Horticulture.
You can lead a horticulture, but you can't make her think.
Wonderful. You're not wearing your glasses today, Dottie.
Men seldom make passes at girls who wear glasses.
You deserve a drink for that one, Dottie dear.
One more drink and I'll be under the host.
Personally, I believe in monogamy.
That's a fine wood, mahogany.
Monogamy, you know, having relations with only my wife.
Oh, you mean monotony. Eventually, I was fired from Vanity Fair for writing one too many cutting reviews. Benchley and Sherwood quit in protest. It was the greatest act of friendship I had known. They were a rare breed, those Algonquinites. There was Robert Benchley, Robert Sherwood, Oscar Levant, Yasha Heifetz, Herman Mankiewicz, Edna Ferber, Noel Coward, F.P.A., Hayward Brown, Ring Lardner, Alexander Walcott. The list goes on. Here we there was nothing more fun than a man.
All my life I frittered away fortunes. But I learned growing up, rich, servants, that money does not buy happiness, nor does it buy friends or companions. Companionship. I had many intimate relationships in my life. Would you care to see some slides of some of the friends I had? Do you have a choice?
Oh, that's Edwin Pond Parker II, my first husband. He wanted me to move with him from New York to Connecticut. I divorced him for mental cruelty. F. Scott Fitzgerald. I had to swing around the lamppost with him once. I made Lillian Hellman promise not to publish it in her memoirs. She did, the snitch. Ring Lardner. He beat me up once. Lillian published that in her memoirs too. Alan Campbell, my second/third husband. He was different from the others. He proposed. Ellen deserves more than a mere mention. I'll dissect him later. Rudy Valentino. I still didn't know him. Tragically, he died before we could ever meet. Ah, love pups.
Oh,
It all began one golden summer in 1926. Robert Benchley and I sailed to the south of France on the SS Roosevelt. As luck would have it, Hemingway was also on board.
I admired his relentless approach to writing and went out of my way to corner him on the starboard bow and tell him so. He said he admired some things about me, 2 to be exact, and before I knew it, we were playing Can You Take It in my stateroom. Hemingway told everyone he was taking saltpeter to keep his sexual appetite under control. But I knew better. On that ship to forever.
Hemingway and I spent many hours in my stateroom, him waking me up and vice versa. On a ship to forever, ship of fools, were we casting off to tomorrow on an open sea. We even lollied in a lifeboat once. Or was it twice? Ah, youth. One believes when one is young that love will last forever, that there is such a thing as happily ever after. And oh, I believed. And we set sail, and I gave in to passion, promising things, no reason, no rhyme, forever, forever. Never thinking love could lead to anywhere we didn't dream, knowing in our hearts the end was closer than it seemed. On a ship to forever, ship of fools, were we casting off to the promise of an open sea. And the words, leave me never, still are haunting me. I will believe them no more, or I just couldn't see that forever would end when we reached shore.
But all journeys must end. And ours ended when we arrived in Cherbourg. The Chardonnay hit the fan. Hemingway accused me of stealing his typewriter. Eventually, he stopped returning my phone calls altogether. I became increasingly depressed. So I did what any self-respecting lady of pretension might do. I tossed his damned Underwood into the sea. I couldn't lose myself in my writings. I didn't have a typewriter. So I lost myself on the French Riviera and gave my love away for a laugh, for a joke, for a song, and a dance.
Love is like quicksilver in the hand. Clutch it and it darts away.
Vous pouviez avoir mon cœur. Mon cœur est brisé. My heart is broken. And like the fool that I am, I'm ready to give love another try. So I travel the world, looking for love, hoping to face the music and dance. For a song and a dance, you can have this broken heart. It stopped beating on the day he went away. Vous pouviez avoir mon cœur est brisé. It's of no use to me. It's empty, you see. That's why I'm giving it away for a song and a dance. Today. Broken heart, it stopped beating on the day he went away. Vous pouviez avoir mon cœur est brisé. And you look good to me. This could be heaven, you see. That's why I'm giving it away for a song and a dance. Today.
I'm never going to accomplish anything. That's perfectly clear to me.
Just when I put sex carefully away in a box marked Winter Hats 1916, I met Alan Campbell, a young stallion 11 years my junior. He was delicious to look at, and he picked up the tab. When Alan proposed marriage, I gave it careful consideration. For about 2 minutes. I wasn't a fool. I wanted children, and I was getting older by the sonnet. Alan and I took the super chief to Hollywood and never left our compartment.
Hollywood can take you on a holiday. Camera, action, lights, a holiday. Oh, how I love those Hollywood holidays. Take me down to Rio on a holiday. Fly me to the moon and holiday. I treasure every Hollywood holiday. Every fan and every movie mogul made me feel like a queen. They pampered me lavishly, champagne and caviar. Sometimes I'd wake up and wonder out loud, am I dreaming? Sooner or later, the scene had to end. Limos would take me home.
everybody. I'll see you tomorrow at 6 a.m. sharp. We'll be doing the karaoke scene.
Mr. Astor is waiting for you on the set, Evan.
Lights, camera, action!
Isn't Heaven dating Jimmy Stewart?
That was last week. Now she's dating Douglas Fairbanks.
Dancing at the Copa was a holiday. Harlot, how I love it. Holidays, wow! I won't forget those Hollywood holidays.
That's Maximilian on the set again.
I hear they're engaged.
Didn't Heaven dump Orson Welles?
That was Rita Hayworth. Heaven dumped Cary Grant. The snow machine's ready, Miss Bernhardt.
Carolers know they don't need the snow. The seasons can be a Hollywood thing. Winter, spring, or fall, or summer, Paris, Rome, LA, or Brooklyn, Hollywood can build any dream. Write the script, light the lights, casting calls, temper tantrums. Here's to those Hollywood holidays. And I never had to leave LA.
We soon became the hot new writing team. Alan did most of the writing, I punched it up. We argued a bit, mostly about dialogue and endings. I hate happy endings. Together we wrote the screenplay to A Star Is Born, nominated for an Academy Award for Best Screenplay. Alan and I owned a mansion in Beverly Hills, the farm in Doylestown, Pennsylvania, 9 dogs, and I was pregnant.
But I had a miscarriage. I should have been more careful. I could have been more careful. The blow is to affect our marriage and what was left of my self-esteem. But you mustn't feel sorry for me. Oh, no, indeed. There was always something for me to toast.
Scratch a lover and find a foe.
Well, I don't see how talking about it could do any harm. Charles MacArthur was my first real love. The swine. Charles and I had this lover's quarrel.
Charles.
And do you believe the dress she was wearing? As truly a horrible dress as I've ever seen on the American stage. Had she not been killed in the second act, I would have fought my way to the stage and done her in myself. Please, come in, sit down, make yourself culpable. I couldn't resist that. Perhaps I should have. Thank you for this beautiful, beautiful present, Charles. I don't know why you want me to wait until tomorrow to open it, but I will do as you ask. I have some news to tell you. I believe it's cause for celebration. Darling, I can't wait a moment longer to tell you the good news. I'm pregnant. Yes, I'm pregnant. Aren't you happy, darling? Well, you spoke of marriage. I merely thought. What do you mean? Is it yours? Of course it's yours. You're the only man I've been with for months. You know it. What do you mean? What am I going to do about it? This is our child. You want me to... What? Get out! Get the hell out of my life! I never want to see you again for as long as I live. No, wait! Charles, please, come back! Come back! We can talk! We can talk. We can... talk. And when Charles walked, I was with child, as they say. Serves me right for putting all of my eggs in one basket. I was faced with having an abortion. All the fame in the world does not comfort one all alone in a room big enough for two. For the first time in my life, I knew the meaning of loneliness. I didn't just write about it or talk about it. I knew in my room enough for two. We had a heaven that was made for me and you. Now alone, I face the emptiness of knowing we are through. And I can't help wondering if you're thinking how I was a fool to believe in you after I made room enough for two. My room enough for two. I dedicate my every thought to loving you. While I'm making love to yesterday, you're loving someone new. And I'd take you back tomorrow, borrow, beg or steal, it's true. That's what fools will do in an empty room enough for two. Why? Tell me why am I all alone in my room enough for two? I cherish memories of lying close to you, and I just can't help believing what you said to me was true. So my heart is yearning, aching, searching, wondering what to do. If you come back into this lonely room enough for two. Lies, I'd rather hear those lies than live alone. You wanted me to love you, and I didn't want to love you. You wanted me to need you, and I didn't want to need you. And then, when I needed you and loved you and wanted you more than anything in the world, you walked out of my life. And the saddest thing of all is, I would take you back tomorrow, borrow, beg or steal, it's true. That's what fools will do in an empty room for two. I'll be here for you when your heart finds room enough for two. After the abortion, when Charles wouldn't return my phone calls, I did what any self-respecting lady of pretension might do. I slashed my wrists. Hello? Yes, I would like to order your squab and wild rice. And how is your Yorkshire pudding this evening? Splendid. I'll have some of that. Send it up to room 423, the Hotel Volney. And do be sure to tell the delivery boy the door will be left ajar. It wasn't a serious attempt at suicide. I did it shortly after ordering dinner to be sent up from a nearby restaurant. The delivery boy arrived. He discovered me right on schedule. And when I woke at the hospital, Robert Benchley was at my side. He said, "Dorothy, if you don't stop doing this, you're going to hurt yourself." In all, some say I made 5 attempts on my life. A vicious rumor I started. It was actually only 2. The other from an overdose of sleeping pills. I took them in a large bowl with cream and sugar. I once wrote a lovely, light-hearted piece on the contemplation of suicide, titled Resume. Ah, here it is in the portable Dorothy Parker. And of course, both my writings and suicide attempts were inspired by men. Always men. What did I do wrong? Why did they stop calling me? Always. Lillian Hellman once said that I always managed to love men who didn't love me. Well, I required the wrong things in a man. I wanted them to be handsome, ruthless, and stupid. Handsome because they look good on my arm. Ruthless, they're always the most fun. And stupid, well, who wants a man who can win an argument, eh? Oh, Lily and I had so much fun. We were each other's closest friends. We even were both persecuted by the McCarthy hearings.
And if my heart be scarred and burned, the safer I for all I learned.
Looking on the bright side, if there is such a thing, we made the list. The Fashionably Black List.
I was on the right side of history, the wrong side of time. Standing for democracy became my only crime. I pled the fifth, I made the myth. I gave up everything I worked for all my life to do it right. Make the fashionably black list, the never ever turning back list. Well, it's a price I pay for the things I say to make the fashionably black list. Thank you, Joe McCarthy, now my friends are afraid to call. It's a wonder I have any self-esteem at all while on the fashionably black list. I was on the right side of history, the wrong side of time. Standing for democracy became my only crime. I pled the fifth, I made the myth. I gave up everything I worked for all my life to do what's right. Make the call them any name and break them, make them beg, and then to read them, stab them in the back into the wall and lose it all when I've been run them out of town and shoot them down and out and they can shove it. Black list, fashionably black.
With Hollywood's doors firmly slammed shut, Lillian and I returned to New York. We toasted to a new beginning, never dreaming it was to be the beginning of the end. Lillian ended up selling off most of her assets and working as a salesgirl at Macy's. Yes, no kidding. It was good for me to be back in New York. Each day I woke up and felt like kissing the pavement.
You can't teach an old dogma new tricks.
I'm New York. Traffic noise, can't sleep without it. There's no doubt about it. I'm New York. I thrill to the sight of a pigeon in flight. I could walk for hours. I could die from the heat. I could die from the cold. But there's no place I'd rather grow old. New York. I'm New York. I worship Rockefeller Center. I'm a die-hard renter. I'm New York. It's a wonderful town, honey, I've been around. No city I'd rather be. DC, not me. LA, no way. Not Miami, Seattle, or Santa Fe. 100% guaranteed. New York. What does a girl have to do to get a taxi around here? I've been standing on the street corner for hours.
Wouldn't you know it, I was hired to interview Ernest Hemingway on his life. Try interviewing someone you're in love with.
Oh, Hemingway, I was a fool to believe when we were young, and I believed how I believed that you loved me. I was always a fool for believing when we were young you'd catch a star and sprinkle stardust around me. Oh, I just couldn't see. All these stars keep reminding me back then when we were young. I could look back and pretend you loved me. But don't you see? That's what fools will do. And tell me, what does it matter? I still loved you. If I could just hold you one more time. When we were young and loved to dance, we danced a dance to
What fresh hell is this?
My final years were spent at the Hotel Volney. I continued to follow politics and social issues through newspapers. I admired Martin Luther King Jr. I had romantic fantasies about Robert Kennedy. And during those years, Lillian Hellman was one of the only friends I had left. On the rare occasion when Lily would come to visit, I would say, "Oh, Lily, come in quick. I want to laugh again." Lillian supported me financially my remaining years. She even sold a Picasso I had given her to do so. In the spring of 1967, Gloria Vanderbilt and her husband, Wyatt Cooper, gave a party in my honor. My escort was Gloria Steinem. I didn't have a thing to wear, so Gloria Vanderbilt gave me a gift. And I turned to Gloria Vanderbilt and said, ever so sweetly, "Thank you for the dress. But where the devil is the hat to match?" As I look back on my life, I have some regrets, things I would have done differently. But the biggest regret of all was the hours I wasted waiting for that damn telephone to ring. Waiting.
Please, God, let him telephone me now. Dear God, let him call me now.
I've always hated dreamers. Their feet aren't on the ground. And when their dreams come to an end, they fall without a sound. But that's not me. I'm not that kind. I always know the score. I scream real loud when I get hurt and still come back for more. While waiting for the phone to ring, I'm lost in love again. I've had my share of cigarettes, of solitaire and men. I tell myself, who gives a damn? He doesn't mean a thing. And yet my heart still skips a beat each time I hear it ring. While waiting for the phone to ring, I tend to curse and moan. And deep inside I won't admit I'm better off alone. And when he calls I won't pick up. I'll just do other things. At least I'll have my dignity. Unless, of course, like Romeo and Juliet, Bogey and Bacall, the greatest loves in history have waited for that call. And surely Cleopatra's heart skipped a beat or two when messages from Antony were long overdue. Now is it just a gender flaw that women wait for men? And even when they break our hearts, we hope they'll call again. I'm through with love, I'm through with men, I've had it with it all. And next time if I play it right, he'll be the one who falls. I never want to hear his name. Unless, of course, he calls.
devil could that be? Hello? No, this isn't Capri Cleaners. You have the wrong number. Oh, that's perfectly all right. You're forgiven. A wrong number? And I forgave him. Well, I suppose it's time that I should forgive. Lily, I forgive you for being so mean to me. I suppose I could have done things differently. I know I promised you the rights to my writings. And I did leave them to Martin Luther King Jr., but I thought you would be proud of me. I didn't know you would take it so hard. Ernest Hemingway, I forgive you. I suppose I could have been a little kinder. Charles MacArthur, forgiven. A strange and wondrous feeling is coming over me. I know the meaning of life. It's forgiveness and love. Forgiveness and love. When you have room enough in your heart for two things, forgiveness and love, there isn't anything you can't do.
When there's room enough for two, there isn't anything your heart won't let you do. It's the safest place for make-believe, for wishes coming true. And the world is so much bigger when it's multiplied by two. And it all begins in a heart with room enough for two. That's what love will do when your heart finds room enough for two.
The perfect hat, and it was right there before me all this time. You know, we're all given presents in life. All we need do is open them. What is this? A letter? It's from Charles. My dearest, darling Dorothy, I didn't have the heart to tell you in person. Tomorrow I will be taking off for Europe with Helen Hayes. We are to be married. Part of me says it's you I want to share my life with. The months I spent with you were some of the happiest in my life. But she needs me, Dorothy, and I need to be needed. You are so strong, Dottie, so very strong. Your life won't fall apart without me. Hers would. I want you to have this gift to remember me by. Now, know there will always be a place in my heart for you and the memories we shared. I love you, Dottie. I always will. Charles. Oh, he loved me. He loved me. Oh, Charles. I love the hat. I love the dress. This is the dress I was buried in. I'm going to write the ending to my life now. It was a hot June evening, and as I lay there, my whole life passed before my eyes. And it was good, and it was full, it was champagne. And I looked at the door expectantly, and there it was, the bright white light. And standing in the doorway was a tall male figure. It was Ernest Hemingway.
Oh, Hemingway.
And I looked to him ever so sweetly and said, Ernest, tell me, I must know, did you really like me? And he said, like you, Dorothy? I thought you were the most beautiful, desirous woman in the world. Damn, I'm a good writer. And he took me in his arms and he kissed me. Good writer. I'm the greatest writer who ever loved. And he took me by the arm and he led me off. And they were all there waiting for me. Robert Benchley.
What took you so long, Dorothy?
George Gershwin.
You want to hear a new song I just worked up?
Lillian Hellman. Did you bring any cigarettes, Dot? God, that's good. Oscar Lafante.
Thank God you've arrived. We need a fourth for bridge.
Rudy Valentino.
I've always wanted to meet you, Dorothy.
Robert Kennedy.
I know your poetry by heart.
Martin Luther King Jr.
Thanks for your support, Dorothy.
Harpo Marx. Scotty Fitzgerald.
Did I ever tell you you inspired Tender as the Night?
Damn! Another happy ending.
Tonight's a night a star was born. Tonight's a night we kicked the can. Tonight's a night I blew my horn. Tonight's a night I got my man. Tonight's a night I wrapped you up. Tonight I took you home. But then again on second thought, I'd rather be alone. Listen, can you hear it? They're all calling me to go. And I'll be there. Hold your horses, I'm on my way, you know. Tonight's a night we went for broke. Tonight's a night that I got paid. Tonight's a night I spent the geld. Tonight's a night, well, who needs it? Tonight's a night I made a wish. Look out, I'm gonna fly. Oh, tonight's the night we broke the bank, we kicked the can, I shot to kill, I got one, and I swore I wouldn't lie. I did let go, I won't look back. I'll finally say goodbye, so long goodbye. Tonight's the night, tonight's the night.
Dorothy Parker and Alan Campbell were working on a comeback with the screenplay The Good Soup for Marilyn Monroe in 1962. Marilyn Monroe's death put an end to those dreams. Alan Campbell died a year later. Many of the blacklisted professionals never worked again in Hollywood. Others found work under pseudonyms at a fraction of the going rate. In 1960, producer and director Otto Preminger is generally given credit for ending the Hollywood Blacklist by publicly crediting Hollywood 10 screenwriter Dalton Trumbo for scripting his award-winning film, Exodus. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble, and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. First Amendment of the United States Constitution.
Well, I'll be off now. Thank you for helping me off to the other side. And when your time comes, do be sure and look me up.
I've lived, I've laughed, I've loved, I've cried. I've told the truth when others lied. And when they told me what to do, I told them what I'm telling you. Life is just a boxing ring. If you grab the ropes, you won't fall down. Don't let them tell you how to fight. You may not have a second round. Live each day and don't look back. Just remember all you have is now. For that final curtain call, it's only you who takes that bow. Live while you can, stop where you are, and treasure the moment. Don't you know each day is Christmas Eve, a make-believe, a birthday party if you'll only laugh while you can. Give me the cake, I'll blow out the candles. Wishes do come true. I'm here with you. The carousel is turning and it's time to grab the ring. And when you think you've sung it all, there's one more song to sing. The hourglass is sifting, damn it, you can't stop the sound. Lift your head, raise your arms, strike up the band. Wake up and live while you can.
Entertainment professionals affected by the Hollywood Blacklist.